Guys, there were a lot of really interesting things shown, and we will talk more about Hot Toys, but I want to talk a little bit about InArt, the quote unquote main competitor, right? I know they've released one figure in a year and a half, and we've all had our criticisms of that. However, they did make a showing at China Joy, I believe it's called, and they showed a bunch of stuff. And we'll get into each one individually. But the one I want to start with, of course, is InArt Superman, because that's the one that they've revealed is going to be the next figure up for pre-order, right? So InArt has shared some of their photos that they showed, and it's obviously they've noted pending licensor approval, so it's not exactly a final, but this is the sort of I-beam head sculpt, laser eye head sculpt, if you will, the Homelander head sculpt, and they have the other one too. I think they showed it somewhere in here, but the other one's not as strong in my opinion. There it is. Yeah, it's not terrible. This is good lighting. It's a good shot. It's a good angle, a good photo, but it still needs a little bit of work. Kiko, is it the best Superman though? And that's the question. Is it better than Hot Toys? Is it worth paying up? You're probably going to pay for sculpted. You might pay $375, $380, but for rooted, probably close to $475, $500. What do you think, Kiko? Is it the best?
At this point, I feel like InArt is just a customs place that just makes some custom pieces to bring to these shows. So of course it's going to be the best because they don't mass produce any figures. They've released one figure. So this is just someone's like personal collection saying, hey, look at my custom Supermans. Sweet. Yeah. I mean, if you have some very talented people making these custom pieces, they look great. But the question is, will this translate to anything mass produced? And I say that all tongue in cheek, obviously. And I feel like we've beaten that damn horse to death about releasing one figure. So let's talk objectively about it. I think you can say objectively that the laser beam face is fantastic. It really is. I think that is night and day better than the Hot Toys one, where that weird grimace of the teeth that he's showing. But that's a cool photo. It even has like some of the burn around the eyes. I think it looks really, really good. The only thing that, yeah, I mean, it captures all the emotion. It looks well. It's exceptional. The only thing, and we talked about this a week ago, is that I think the main sculpt is a little off, but as of this point, who knows how it's going to come to production. So I don't know. Is this the best? This is probably the best custom Superman that you're going to find available. Yes. Because this custom artist put this together for this show, and it's probably the best one you have. So until you find one out there that's available, that is mass produced, then we can talk. Because at this point, you can't say anything. I hate to be that way, but yeah, I mean, if everything works out, then of course this will be the best Superman. Some people will not like that it's the darker suit. They like the lighter suit. But I mean, you can look and tell exactly who the fuck that is. And I'm more curious on how they're going to float the bitch, because there's not a crotch grabber. Are you putting magnets in the back with a, clear pole? How are we elevating this guy? And how's the cape going to be? Those are the big questions I'd like to know, because that'll translate to other cool pieces if they ever get around to them. So
that cape looks pretty heavily wired. I will say that. I mean, that's a Moon Knight cape right there. I mean, that's what that looks like to me. But Kiko, what do you think? Before I jump to Dean, what do you think about the proportions and stuff like that? Does it all look good to you?
Depending on the lighting, some of the lighting I saw looked like he didn't have any of the musculature. That was strange, and I do think the quads are a little bit lacking. I think he does look like he skipped leg day a hair. Now, I understand this is a juggernaut of a human. Henry Cavill was incredible for that. But I think maybe the Hot Toys one was too big. I don't know. Maybe he was on Dwayne The Rock Johnson's regimen for that one. But if you look at this, I think you can say the quads probably need to be a little bit bigger. But proportionally, this lighting looks great. I think overall the mean face, or we'll just call it the mean face, the laser, I think that figure overall looks better than the one just standing there. It looks like two separate figures, if you ask me. But yeah, I'm interested to see the detailing, how everything all works. Good start, but as I said, until they mass produce this and show that they can, this is a custom piece.
Well, it's going to be a matter too, Kiko, of is this a Pennywise type release where they do sort of a deluxe with two head sculpts and you can buy either one individually, or maybe it's a Joker type release where I don't think they're going to do a forced 2-pack again. I think they learned from their mistake on that one. I think that was their first figure they rolled out, and their only figure.
Yeah, but the Joker has two distinct looks.
Right.
He does. He does.
With all his bullshit on, and then with just the jacket and the shirt.
Yeah.
If you had to a 2-pack with this, that'd be fucking horseshit.
Well, because they didn't do it with Pennywise either. Because Pennywise, it's like just two head sculpts. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually really like this Superman. I think the S is a little small from what people have been showing.
Okay.
or it's not an S. That means hope, guys. But god damn, this figure looks fucking good. And then the laser eye face. Usually in 6 scale, when they give like a non-neutral face sculpt, it's usually a little rough. Maybe you lose a little bit of the likeness of the actor, but that's Cavill all day.
Yeah, I think it's better than the other sculpt.
I think it is, honestly.
It is. I don't think that's
they
bold. Yeah.
fucking nailed it. And I am very critical of InArt because, like Kiko said, they've only released one fucking figure, and as good as it is, it's like even that had issues. So, but goddamn, this looks good. This looks really fucking good. And I have been in the market for a Superman for way too long. So this might be my first InArt pickup.
Really? So you're considering this one, Dean?
I really am.
Okay. Because I think the proportions overall and the suit texture looks good. I mean, everything looks strong there. But this is a great laser eye head sculpt. I mean, this is honestly, I can't imagine. I mean, even if they fix the other one, I would assume most people would pick this one for their display because it's just cooler. It's just like more unique and cool. Like it just.
Yeah. Because I have, and I know it's not from the same movie, guys. So don't come at me in the comments. But I have Armored Batman.
Okay.
And I've needed a Superman to go with him. And like a new Superman suit will come out. And then it's like, do I get the new one? Do I wait for the old ones to go on sale? And then it's like, well, this suit's better. And then this Superman's too short. So don't get this one. And so I've just never had a decent opportunity to get a Superman. So this might just fill that spot for me. I know it's not from the same movie and the outfit might be a little bit different, but not that much different. So this is looking pretty enticing.
You know what I might say? And for some people, maybe they've already felt this way. This may be the first InArt figure that personally I've looked at and be like, do we need rooted for this? Like, I almost feel like with sculpted, because his hair is kind of like gelled and flat anyway. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure for this one you would need rooted.
Is there a rooted option? Because like literally,
I don't think I've seen
not so far.
Why would you do? I mean, I feel like that's a waste of resources and just a way to stamp another $100 on.
Right.
I think there's not enough hair to do anything with.
Yeah, because I haven't seen one, Kiko. And if that's the case, this figure is going to be more affordable than I think people think it's going to be. Like, I think this figure is probably going to be like $370, something like that, maybe shipped. Like, so I think that's gonna at that point that's pretty close to a lot of Hot Toys figures. Maybe not all, but a lot of them.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, but I mean, even like
Hot Toys on the high end is what, 310.
I mean, isn't Harry Potter shipping a little Harry Potter more than that though?
Harry Potter had rooted hair though.
No, there's a sculpted one too, and it's still
sculpted one, but that one's a lot cheaper, I think. Isn't it?
And I had you get that big diorama base.
A big diorama, yeah. That's why. That's where the cost.
That's why. Yeah, that's where the cost is. Because even if you get the rooted or not, you get that fucking base, and that thing's huge.
Right. There's Gandalf. But yeah, I mean, this all looks sculpted. I don't see a reason. Yeah.
The neutral face sculpt, it's like it's very soft, almost like he's like way too young.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a 10-year age difference. Yeah, it looks like a total age difference between the two.
Right. And I think they can fix it because remember the first Aragorn that came out and it was just like not quite right.
Super rough. Yeah.
Right. So I think this is how,
This is still serviceable. Like that looks like Cavill, just young.
That's still better than Hot Toys, to be honest.
I mean, I really am liking this Superman the more I see it.
Right. And that's just what I'm saying. Like, honestly, and in this photo with this lighting, I actually like that sculpt. I don't think it's perfect, but look, the Hot Toys is solid, but I never thought any Hot Toys figure nailed Cavill. Like, I always felt like all of them were like, they're just, I get it. It's kind of like with some of the other figures like Loki, for example. A lot of the Loki stuff, until the most recent ones, a lot of the older ones were like, kind of, here or there. Like, but even Mark Hamill, they started to get better with Mark Hamill recently too. Like with Mando Luke and stuff, and Bespin Luke, they're a lot better. But I've kind of felt that way with Cavill. They can't quite get him just right. And this isn't either, but I think it's a step in the right direction. But I'm excited to see. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The poll right now is showing people think it's the best Superman, but it probably won't be out until it'll be out for pre-order soon. Probably won't be out till 2025 sometime. But yeah. So
yeah, no shit.
It's cool though. I'm trying to
figures are going to be starting at 370 by the time this one comes out. Inflation will catch up
I'm,
with it.
bro. I'm trying to be fair, but
Talking
yeah,
about
absolutely.
Hasbro Black Series 370.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no shit, dude.
bro. Yeah,